In late February, a quiet mountain town in western Mexico suddenly became the center of one of the most significant security operations in recent years. Within hours, one of the world's most powerful cartel leaders was dead, but what followed may matter even more than the operation itself. Roadblocks appeared. Vehicles burned, entire regions went on alert. And a new question emerged. What happens when a criminal empire suddenly loses its leader? This is the story of Tapalpa, the fall of El Mencho, and the chain reaction that followed. The killing of a cartel leader is never just a single event. It reshapes power and security across a region. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, better known as El Mencho, led the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, often called CJNG. Unlike older cartels built on secrecy, CJNG became known for rapid expansion, aggressive tactics, and a highly organized structure. Authorities considered it one of the most powerful criminal organizations operating today, with influence extending far beyond Mexico's borders. Under his leadership, the cartel evolved into a decentralized network controlling trafficking routes, finances, and regional enforcement groups, which made him one of the most wanted figures in the world. He was born in Michoacán, a state neighboring Jalisco. His early life was marked by poverty. In the 1980s, he illegally immigrated to the United States and became involved in a heroin network in California. After arrest and deportation, he briefly joined local police before dedicating himself fully to the drug trade. He aligned with the Milenio Cartel, a faction of the larger Sinaloa cartel. The CJNG was officially formed around 2011 after Milenio leadership fractured. El Mencho seized the opportunity, consolidating power and declaring war on rivals, notably Los Zetas. The cartel's rise was characterized by extreme violence and a sophisticated understanding of public relations. It often portrayed itself as a protector even as its core business focused on synthetic drugs, particularly methamphetamine and fentanyl bound for the United States, Europe, and Asia. Its reach became extensive, reported in nearly every Mexican state and on multiple continents. El Mencho became the DEA's most wanted fugitive, with a $10 million reward, while remaining largely unseen, a ghost to authorities. For years, locating him proved nearly impossible. He relied on layered security, trusted insiders, and constant movement between safe locations. Mountainous safe houses across Jalisco, Michoacán, and Colima offered natural fortification. He avoided cell phones, used human couriers, and made surveillance nearly impossible. That discipline let him run a multi-billion-dollar empire while remaining a phantom. But according to reports, a critical tip changed everything. Officers received intelligence linked to a close associate, pointing to a property near Tapalpa, Jalisco, an unusual, more accessible hideout in a tourist town. Once analysts believed they had confirmation, planning moved quickly. U.S. support was crucial. A senior official confirmed U.S. intelligence assisted. Agencies provided surveillance technology, signal analysis, and informant data, tracking information flows and finances. Multiple streams converged on the same villa in Tapalpa. With the location confirmed, planning accelerated. Elite units mobilized under strict secrecy to prevent leaks. Strategy: secure the perimeter and deny escape with overwhelming force. The objective was clear: act fast before the opportunity disappeared. Security forces launched a coordinated operation involving military units and intelligence teams. Officials say the target attempted to flee into nearby wooded terrain as forces closed in. Moments later, the operation ended with fatal gunfire. Authorities confirmed the death shortly afterward. There were no public displays, no dramatic announcements, only confirmation that one of Mexico's most powerful cartel leaders was gone. Confirmation was handled with extreme caution and heavy security. Aware of likely retaliation, authorities strengthened security in key regions before wider announcements, a significant victory, years in the making. But for those on the ground, the story was only beginning. The death of the kingpin was not an end, but the trigger for the next phase. Within hours, violence erupted across parts of Jalisco and beyond. These reactions were not unexpected. Cartel structures often respond rapidly, both as retaliation and as a show of continued strength. The message: even without a leader, the organization still exists. Within hours, violence erupted across parts of Jalisco and surrounding areas. Roadblocks appeared on highways, vehicles were set on fire. The primary tactic, narco-bloqueos, paralyzing transportation and impeding security forces. Officials reported more than 250 roadblocks across 20 states. Guadalajara, Jalisco's capital, was thrown into turmoil. Videos showed smoke over Puerto Vallarta. Travelers ran for cover inside terminals. Security forces were targeted in coordinated attacks. In 6 separate attacks, 25 National Guard members were killed, one of the deadliest days in recent memory. A jail guard and a state prosecutor's office agent were among additional fatalities. Intelligence pointed to Hugo El Tuli, CJNG's financial chief, and Mencho's right hand, as organizing the violence and blockades. Daily life halted, schools closed, travel slowed, communities waited. Access to major airports was choked off, stranding residents and tourists. The government surged forces to restore control and dismantle remaining blockades. The human toll mounted as Mexico confronted a swift, coordinated backlash. The message from the cartel was unmistakable. Operational capacity remained, even without its leader. Authorities reported at least 74 people killed, including 25 National Guard officers, in the operation and subsequent violence, a grim tally that underscored the scale of retaliation. Civilians faced closures, suspended transport, and orders to remain at home. Commerce and daily routines ground to a halt. Roughly 10,000 soldiers deployed across 20 states to stabilize key regions. Forces cleared roads, restored access, and pursued those responsible. Cities and highways became militarized, an effective but controversial reliance. Beyond casualties, fear and uncertainty spread quickly. Burning vehicles, distant gunfire, and constant alerts deepened anxiety. Travelers were stranded, families divided, and the sense of safety fractured. A reminder that removing a leader does not immediately remove an organization. Sometimes it creates instability instead. For communities, the cost was fear, disruption, and tragic loss. When leadership disappears, rival factions often compete for control. History shows 3 outcomes: smooth succession, violent fragmentation, or absorption by rivals. A name emerged: Juan Carlos Valencia Gonzalez, 03, reportedly El Mencho's US-born stepson. His American citizenship adds jurisdictional complexity for both countries. To consolidate, he would need quick authority over powerful regional commanders. The killing of a cartel leader is never just a single event. It reshapes alliances, power structures, and security decisions across an entire region. The coordinated retaliation showed that killing the kingpin does not kill the kingdom. CJNG's power was embedded in a resilient structure with deep operational capacity. Now, analysts watch for succession struggles, fragmentation, or recalibration, while Mexico prepares for a global spotlight. For now, authorities continue monitoring the aftermath. And the world watches to see what comes next. Developing story.